Thank you, everyone. And it's a beautiful month on the 1st of June. And for all those who wonder what's so beautiful, the fact that we are together here with India Business Group, Chamber of Commerce, and having trade and opportunities between countries and, among cities, I think is truly a blessing. So thank you so much for joining us here, and let us truly be bright and have our visions intact for the month of June. We are all extremely blessed and honored to have with us His Excellency from the Ethiopia Embassy, and absolutely an honor for all of us. As we all know that Ethiopia is a place of Asian culture, and its economy is one of the fastest growing in the world. And of course, we did love to say, Your Excellency, salam. Thank you.
Salam.
Enjamin Adrak.
Thank you. Thank you. Namaste. Namaste.
Namaste, sir. Thank you so much. That's very kind of you. And before we introduce Your Excellency, let me please tell all of you, all our beautiful members and our guests who've joined us here, that as we all know, India Business Group is absolutely a non-profit organization which really helps everyone excel in their endeavors. And before we take a look at the audio visual and request Priya, we're going to request Mr. Vikash Mitasen to kindly address everyone, the Honorary Consul General of the Republic of Mali, and of course, Nazara Technologies, which is still creating waves for its reasons, right from the IPO, which has created history. And of course, our business guru, who truly is a great guide and an angel to us. May we please request Mr. Vikash Mitasen.
Thank you, Simran. So today our people have two consul generals, one honorary consul and one real consul. We're talking to mainly Mr. Demeke. And let me tell you, amongst all the consuls, Mr. Demeke is the closest friend of IBG. And we try to meet often before lockdown. We are again still trying to plan when we can meet, hopefully in June itself. One piece of history that most people don't know about Ethiopia is that the first human being walked the earth in Ethiopia. Ethiopia was the place where humans emerged from apes or whatever. So that is the birthplace of human beings. And we need to be grateful to Ethiopians and Mr. Demeke to tell us more about that. I want to wish you all the best. Bombay seems to be getting better and better with every passing day. Let us hope that by end of June, no more cases in Bombay. It's a prayer. Let us hope so. Thank you very much. We can begin.
Thank you so much. On this positive note, we are very excited. We truly hope, and we are with you with this, Mr. Vikash Mitasen. Your Excellency, exactly a year back, we welcomed you, and it was absolutely a pleasure the same month of June, and absolutely a pleasure for all of us to welcome the Consul General of the Federal Democratic Republic of Ethiopia, our Consul General, His Excellency, Mr. Demeke Atnafu Ambulo. But before we request you to speak a few words, I'm going to please request our very dynamic CEO, Ms. Priya Pansare, to say a beautiful good morning to everyone, followed by the audio visual of India Business Group.
Very good morning, IBG, and special good morning to Mr. Demeke. Just to give you an update about the meeting that, of course, you have come on our platform before an year exactly. And after that, we got many contacts from you in terms of the Chamber of Commerce in Ethiopia. And we did few meetings with them. And currently our 5 members are actively doing business with the businesses from there. Yes, from the counterparts. So it's been a pleasure to have you, and thanks a lot for again accepting to come on the platform. Thank you. Girish, can we play the audio visual for our guests who have joined in today?
I'm going to thank Girish, Siddhi, and Sujata for all the help and guidance. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, India Business Group, Chamber of Commerce. is a modern chamber of commerce focused on mentoring and supporting Indian businesses to help them grow globally. India Business Group has a network of over 50,000 associations with over 1,000 active members. India Business Group organizes sector-specific events for their members pertaining to sectors like real estate, film and entertainment, IT sector, finance, banking, healthcare, tourism, legal, HR, manufacturing, retail. We invite Consul General and Trade Commissioners to explore trade opportunities between countries.
Thank you. Thank you for the audio visual. Ladies and gentlemen, our Consulate General of the Federal Democratic Republic of Ethiopia, His Excellency, Mr. Demeke Atnafu Ambulo, has served as a diplomat for about 25 years in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Ethiopia. He has served as the Director General for Diaspora Affairs in the ministry. He worked as the head of the Office of Capacity Building in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. He's also served as the Minister Counselor in the Embassy of Ethiopia, London, UK, and Ethiopian Embassy in USA, Washington, DC. My dear lovely ladies and gentlemen, His Excellency, Mr. Demeke has served as the Economic and Political Counselor at the Embassy of Ethiopia in New Delhi, India, and now serving as the Consul General of Ethiopian Consulate here in Mumbai as his second post to India. Absolutely an honor for all of us to welcome Your Excellency. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. It's my pleasure.
We're going to request you to kindly, speak to everyone and let's discuss on the trade and opportunities between India and Ethiopia, please. Your Excellency.
My pleasure. Okay. Good morning, everybody. Let me start first by extending my profound appreciation and sincere thanks for my dear colleague, Mr. Vikash, Honorary Consul of Mali, and the founder and the president of IBG for organizing this virtual meeting on trade and investment opportunity in Ethiopia. And since this is going to be the second edition, it shows how we are very much, our consulate is very much pleased to be associated with IBG, Chamber of Commerce and Industry. Here, my presentation today, I'm going to divide into two. Since it is trade and investment, I'll do the investment part first, and the second, I'll do the trade between Ethiopia and India. So I'm going to make a presentation, will be divided into three major parts. And the first will be why Ethiopia, why to do business, and why to invest in Ethiopia. I'll go through 3 or 4 major factors: the economic factors, the market factors, and the low cost of production factors. Before doing that, let me give you an overview about Ethiopian production. Ethiopia is one of the oldest countries in Africa, which is never colonized, with a history goes back to 3,000 years. It is a country located in the Horn of Africa, strategically located at the junction of Asia, Middle East, with America and Europe. Area-wise, Ethiopia is 1.104 million square kilometers, about which more than half of it is an arable land. Ethiopian population is close to more than 120 million, which is the second largest population in Africa. Ethiopia economy is one of the strongest economy, the fifth strongest economy in Africa, with GDP of 10.7 billion USA dollar. And the GDP per capita income of Ethiopia is increasing every day, and it is now 1,080 USD. And Ethiopia had joined the lower middle income class. Ethiopia is being regarded as a land of origin. I will give you 3 reasons which my good colleague, Mr. Vikash, had mentioned. Ethiopia is, coffee is originated in Ethiopia, originated. It is originated in Ethiopia, discovered in Ethiopia. There is a place called Kefa where coffee had been discovered, and the coffee had driven its name from the place where it is originated in Ethiopia, known as Kefa. So Ethiopia's coffee is Ethiopia's gift to the world. You know, India is producing coffee in southern India. Coffee came, Ethiopian originated, went to the Middle East in 15th century, and the coffee reached to southern part of India in late 17th century. So coffee is Ethiopians' gift to the world. So we call Ethiopia a land of origin because it is origin of coffee. And the second is Ethiopia is being regarded as origin of humankind. You know, the oldest remains of human ancestor discovered aged 3.5 million was discovered in Ethiopia. So Ethiopia is, if any one of you count your ancestors down, everybody on this globe, on this earth, going to trace its origin to Ethiopia. So it is ancestral homeland of all of you. So Ethiopia, that is why we call Ethiopia a land of origin. So if you are Indian or American, all of the people on the world, their ancestral homeland was in Ethiopia because the earliest remains of human ancestors aging 3.5 million, you can see it, was originated in Ethiopia. Because of this, we call Ethiopia an origin of land of origin. The third is one of the longest river in the world, longest river, the Blue Nile, origin is in Ethiopia, you can see it. Ethiopia is also the political capital city of Africa, never colonized, and it is also the political capital of Africa. Because of this major region, origin of coffee, origin of human being, origin of one of the longest river in the world, origin of freedom and existing 3,000 years of existence of freedom and independence of state in those on this globe. Because of this, we call Ethiopia as a land of origin. So this is a general about Ethiopia. When you want to do business in Ethiopia, you should keep this in mind. Why Ethiopia is a land of origin, the second largest population in Africa, a country never colonized, and these are the general introduction about Ethiopia. So let me give you why. One of the major presentation, my presentation today, why to invest in Ethiopia. What are the reasons? As I've already tried to mention, I would like to touch upon the major economic, the market, and the low cost production factors. I'll deal with four major factors. One, political and social stability. In the African context, one of the stable countries in Africa, especially in the Horn of Africa. When it comes to the economic factor, which is very important to do business and investment in Ethiopia, is before the COVID, Ethiopian economy had registered double-digit economic growth since 2005. So the economy was continuously growing for more than 15 years. Even during the COVID, Ethiopia is one of the few countries which had registered positive economic growth, between 3 to 6% economic growth. Ethiopia is the second largest recipient of foreign direct investment. But when it comes again to economy, especially during the COVID, I would like to emphasize that more than 40 Indian companies went to Ethiopia and invested during the COVID time. Why Indians went during this time when everything here is closed, locked down? It shows the confidence of the companies on the economic factors, on the economic and other factors existing in Ethiopia. So the first is the economic factor. The second factor is market. One, domestic market, more than 120 million domestic market. If you put some Eastern African countries together, the population in Ethiopia is bigger than that. It is the fourth largest in terms of purchasing power parity, and it is the second largest market.
Thank you so much. And yes, we're going to have Your Excellency in the next few seconds. Meanwhile, I'm going to request you, if you have any questions, please feel free to message in the chat box. And I think it's one of the most amazing presentations where we're really getting to learn about the trade and the economy about Ethiopia and why we should invest in this beautiful country. Also knowing the love for coffee that everyone around the world has, and now we know where it actually originated from, right from the 15th century. So we're going to have Your Excellency join us in the next few seconds from now. And thank you everyone. And please feel free to send in your questions as we all know a little bit about the Ethiopian economy. And for all those who've just joined us here, you know, it's a great opportunity for all of us to truly have a great, you know, trade and investment between the two countries. So I want to take this wondrous opportunity of inviting Sir back once, as we all know, and I don't think we need to even mention, you know, about, you know, the network bit at all. But as we all know that we've all assembled here, and today is the 1st of June. So let us truly have this beautiful resolution. You know, 5 months have passed by with that big question mark in our heads. And we have a great guidance here with us. So I'm going to please request you all to feel free. And as soon as Your Excellency joins us here, let's truly get into this. Yes, Dheeraj. Oh, really, absolutely. Please feel free to pour in your questions. And we're going to continue with the presentation once Your Excellency joins us here. So thank you, everyone. And thank you for being here with us. I'm very excited for this new month, simply because every new month comes like a resolution. So, you know, to only be positive and, you know, be on your toes and make the most out of this and be the best version, you know, in your business endeavors. So thank you, everyone who's joined us here, and you keep on commenting. Yeah, thank you so much. So Girish, kindly do let me know whenever Your Excellency has joined us here and, you know, he logs in back. Thank you. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Your Excellency.
Thank you. Sorry for the connection. I don't know. It's here, it shows. The first is a market factor is domestic market. The second is African market. You go and produce in Ethiopia, you can export to African market, 55 African countries with no, you know, tax and with no restriction. And the third market is the American market. Under African Growth and Opportunity Act, Ethiopia, we have entitled to have access to the USA market with no quota and with no tax. So whatever you produce in Ethiopia, you can export to the American market with no quota and with no tax. And the same is true for the European market. Whatever is being produced in Ethiopia can enter to the European market with no quota and no tax. So for any business to be sustainable and for any investment, market is very important. Domestic market, huge, the second largest. The African market, the regional African market, the American market, and the European market. So market factor is one of the reasons why we are requesting the Indian companies to come and do sustainable business. To do sustainable business, come and set up production unit in Ethiopia. And the third factor is the low cost production factor. One, labor cost. Labor is monthly average labor is between 50 to 100 USD, which is very competitive. When comparing with African standard, it is also again one of the least. Second, the electricity rate, 3 USA cents per kilowatt, half of that of Kenya and other even African countries, the nearby countries. The water rate is 8 cents per cubic meter. And the land in Ethiopia is a public property. You can get land not on competition, not on the market value, but at the promotional level. When you put this, the labor cost is cheap, electricity cost is very cheap, and the water is cheap, land is cheap. The cost of production in Ethiopia is the most lowest. When cost of production is low, the profit maximization is high. So that is why we are encouraging Indian companies to come and look. You have market access, not only Ethiopian market, the African, European, and the American market. And you have also low cost of production because of the 3 reasons. The labor cost cheap, electricity rate, the water rate, land. The economy of the country is growing. Because of these 4 factors, we are encouraging Indian companies to come and set up whatever production unit they want. Come and to do business. When I'm saying do business, a sustainable business. To have a sustainable business, you have to come not only export, but you have to go and set up there and continue your business in a more sustainable way, not only in Ethiopia, but to Africa and the European and the American markets. So these are the 3 main reasons. The other factor is incentives. The government is giving income tax exemptions up to 6 years, exemptions of custom duty exemptions for all capital goods where you are going to set up manufacturing unit in Ethiopia. There is exemption of export exemption, duty, loss carry forward, repatriation of your fund. Whatever you invested in Ethiopia, you can repatriate in the amount in the foreign currency what you did. It can be profit, it can be dividend. If you liquidate your business, you can also repatriate. So these are the 4 major incentives, financial incentives, which the government is providing. There are non-financial incentive packages, like assisting visa and others. So these are the main reason why we are encouraging to come Indian companies to invest in Ethiopia. Having said that, let me go to the major sectors. We have identified 7 major sectors. And the first, let me deal with agriculture and agro processing. Agriculture, as I mentioned, Ethiopia had a very plenty of land and water resource. Out of 110 million square kilometer, 74.5 million square kilometer land is arable, which can be used for agriculture. More than 60% of the land mass. So in agriculture, in Ethiopia, we have 18 major agroecologic zones and 49 sub-agroecologic zones. What does it mean? We can produce different agricultural products in different 49 agroecologic zones. We have plenty of land, we have plenty of water. Ethiopia is being called as water tower of Africa. And we are looking for Indians to come and invest. What is opportunity in agriculture, especially commercial farming? One, farming of cereal crops, like, pulses, oil seeds, grains, and so on. You can produce that. Beverage, coffee and tea. Ethiopia is the origin of coffee. And the coffee production were the first in Africa and the sixth in the world. Tea is also the same. Where you can also produce floriculture, like, vegetables, fruits, spice, and so on. And horticulture, I mean. And in floriculture, we are the second largest exporter of cut flowers to Europe. Do you know who are the pioneers of floriculture, flowering in Ethiopia? They are Indians. So there is huge opportunity, and the government had made 3 million hectares of land ready for agriculture, commercial farming, where you can produce a number, as I said, cereal crops, beverage, horticulture, floriculture, forest, animal husbandry, and so on. When it comes to agro-processing, we are producing this all in raw material, in raw. So we are looking to process these agricultural products, like processing of oil seeds, pulses, and cereals, processing of edible oil, processing of meat and meat products, fish and fish products, and so on. Why we are looking Indians, especially for agriculture and the agro-processing sector, because India had a successful history since the last 4 decades, starting from Green Revolution. Indian technology, especially in agriculture, is the most appropriate for us. It is affordable for us, and it is affordable, appropriate for us. So that is why we are looking for Indians, especially for agro-processing. We are producing vegetables, fruits, we are exporting to Middle East, and we are importing juice from the Middle East. You have the technology, you have the machinery, and we are looking Indians to come and do. The government, the land is ready, the land resource, water resource is ready. The government had availed more than 3 million hectares of land. So we are looking Indians, especially in this agriculture and agro-processing sectors. The second sector where we are looking for Indians is pharma. Pharmaceutical sectors. Currently, Ethiopia, it is one of the top. Ethiopia is heavily import dependent in the pharma sector. We are importing more than 85% of our pharma needs. The pharma local companies only meet 15%. Given the huge population of Ethiopia, 120 million, you can see the size of the market. So we are looking for Indians to come and fill this big gap. Why? I will discuss later on. The major Indian export to Ethiopia is now today is pharma for the last 2 years. More than 150 million Indian export to Ethiopia pharma. So we are discouraging import, and we are encouraging those pharma companies who are in the pharma sector to come and set up there and have a sustainable pharma business in Ethiopia. Not only in Ethiopia, you can export to African countries. you can export to the American, European countries with no quota and with no tax. So what is special incentives in the pharma sector was that the government has allocated dedicated industrial park for the pharma sector in the city of Addis with 270 hectares of land. 270 hectares of land, dedicated industrial park called Kelinto Pharma Industrial Park is ready, and they're looking for Indian companies. So we are encouraging to come and set up there. Because of not other reasons, the main reason here was that the government is providing market preference for the local companies. The government offers advanced payment of up to 30% of the value of the offer with 25% price preference. In Ethiopia, we have a centralized procurement system for medicines. There is a single agency which is procuring medicines. So to encourage domestic investors, the government is giving 25% price preference for the local pharma companies, and it is also giving 30% of the value, advance payment of the value of the order. This is a special incentives to encourage the pharma companies to come and set up in Ethiopia. And income tax exemption in the pharma sector is up to 14 years. You have seen in other sectors, it is up to 6 years in the manufacturing sector. In agriculture, it is up to 9%. But when it comes to the pharma sector, it is up to 14 years. 14 years. So we are appealing to the Indian companies to come and seize the opportunity. Already the Kelinto Industrial Park is ready. It is within 10 minutes to the international airport, Bole International Airport. So we are looking the Indian companies to come and see opportunity existing in the pharma sector. The other sector, which is textile and the garment. For textile, we have a strong raw material base, cotton. We have one of the best climates to produce cotton and the best soil to produce cotton. So we have a strong raw material base for textile and the garment industries. You know, there are more than 25 Indian textile and garment companies in Ethiopia. Almost all were exporting to the European and the American market. Almost all, because of no quota, because of no tax exemptions. So they were exporting to the European and the American market. The other is in the leather products. Ethiopia, in terms of livestock population, Ethiopia is the first in terms of the population, livestock population, and the 9th in the world. What does it mean? The raw material for leather and the leather products is hides and the skins. You can find hides and the skins at very cheap competitive price in Ethiopia with the best quality. We have the first livestock population in Africa and the 9th in the world. So leather and the leather products, you know what leather and the leather opportunity in the leather products are another area where we are looking, because you have Indians, you have the best technology that is the best for Africa, not for the others, which is appropriate, and as in terms of agriculture, which I have said is affordable for us. So we are encouraging also to come and see opportunity existing in leather and the leather products. There are opportunities in the chemicals and the construction materials as well. The other sector is mineral sector. mining sector. Ethiopia is endowed with number of minerals, such as, precious minerals, semi-precious minerals, metallic minerals, industrial minerals, and construction minerals, minerals for salt, and oil and gas. This where the country is endowed with different kinds of minerals. We are looking here, Indians, for exploration of gold and basic metals, semi-precious metals, metallic minerals, tantalum, platinum, oil, and gas. Since we have very good expertise, Indians, in these areas, we are also looking Indians to come and explore opportunity existing in Ethiopia with different and diversified mineral resources. Energy is another sector where we are looking for, especially in geothermal, wind power, and solar energy. Especially in solar energy, we are looking for Indians because you have the best technology, expertise in this area, and in the wind farm, most of geothermals and hydroelectric, we are more emphasizing Indians to come and see opportunity existing, especially in solar energy sector. So the other sector, which is very important and which was given top priority by government, was ICT, information technology. We are looking here, Indians, for software development, for content development, for application and database development, for system integration and data center service. We are again looking, Indians, to come and explore opportunity existing for the manufacturing of ICT equipment like computers and peripheral equipment. Here also in ICT sector, the government has built up, ICT village in Ethiopia. You don't want to go here and there. We have already developed it. The ICT village is there. You should go, see, negotiate, argue, lease, and you can start, move your property equipments and start the investment in ICT sectors. This is another area where we are looking Indian companies where they have the best expertise also in ICT sector. Two other area, as I've already mentioned, Ethiopia is branded as land of origin. It is also means a lot. And Ethiopia offers different kind of tourism. Historical tourism, heritage tourism, historical tourism, heritage tourism, and we are also looking for spiritual tourism, adventure tourism, educational tourism, economic tourism, and so on. We offer different kinds of tourism for tour operators, for those who are interested in the areas. Those who want to go to the north, we have historical, archaeological, heritage tourism. If you go to the south, you can see cultural, ecotourism, economic tourism. So Ethiopia offers diversified, varied type of tourism for those who are interested. So we are looking, Indians, for star-rated hotel lodges, star-rated restaurants, and for graded tour operations. So this is another area where we are looking for Indians. Industrial park. We have developed more than 13 government-owned industrial parks for priority sectors. You should not go here and there in search of land to set up your production unit. Already the government has built 13 government-owned industrial parks, the one which you can see in the Awasa, for textile and the garment. These are clustered industrial parks. They are mainly for textile and the garment, laser and the laser products, and there are also cluster industrial for agro processing. For construction, there are dedicated industrial parks, and as I mentioned to you, there is industrial part for pharma, for pharmaceuticals as well. You can see samples of the industrial parks. So you cannot go here and there. The government has already built up 13 industrial parks. There are also 10 private industrial parks. Not only you are touched with the government, you have also, you can see also opportunity existing in the private sector where more than 10 private industrial parks are developing. And coming to Ethiopia and India, our bilateral trade is increasing. And let me mention the top 10 Indian exports to Ethiopia. The top 10 Indian exports. The first is Pharma. The top 10 Indian export to Ethiopia. It is more than 150 million USD.
Sure. We thank you all. We have a couple of questions as well. And meanwhile, we're going to have Your Excellency join us back here. I'm going to truly thank you all for your questions. And since we have lots to discuss about Ethiopia, especially not to miss out on, going and having coffee where it originated from. So we have a couple of questions and we're going to request Your Excellency to answer them. And we look forward to meeting you pretty soon for the rest of the Knowledge Cafe webinars as well. We just wait. Some of the questions that we're going to pick up are, how does one promote Ethiopian coffee experience in India? Thank you. Thank you.
Let me finish. Let me finish.
Please, please.
Indian export, the major Indian export, trade is very important. Pharma is first, more than 150. Iron and steel, articles of iron and steel, together more than 110 million $. And we have machineries and spare parts of different kinds, in engineering, mechanical, agricultural, construction, machineries of different types. It is more than 110 million $. Export to Ethiopia. And comes aluminum products, and then comes chemicals, plastics, printing, industries, papers and the printing industry products, medical and the surgical equipment. And these are the major 10 top Indian export to Ethiopia. India, we are importing more than 44 different products from India. And the top 10 were the one which I have already mentioned. When it comes to India, Ethiopian export to India is mainly agricultural products. Pulses, oil seeds, and grain. You can see them. These are major Ethiopian exports to the Indian market. And we are also exporting precious and semi-precious stones. We are also exporting a few laser and laser products, and so on. But you can see fruits and vegetables in a very limited way. So our export to India is close to 98 million last year, but Indian export to Ethiopia is close to more than 1 billion. But when it comes to investment, more than 620 Indian companies with a registered capital of 5 billion are investing in Ethiopia, the second largest. They have created job opportunity for more than 75,000 Ethiopians. The second largest next to China investors in Ethiopia. They are second, as I mentioned, in garment and industry. There are more than 25 Indian companies, like the big Raymond, starting from the big one, Raymond, COVID and so on. In every sector, if you go, there are Indians. Almost 70% are in manufacturing sectors out of this. The others are in agriculture and in consultancy services. So Indians are the second largest investors with more than $5 billion US. Even during the COVID, as I mentioned, more than 40 Indian companies went and invested in Ethiopia. So the bilateral trade investment is growing. Trade is in favor of India and the investment is increasing. We have signed trade agreement with India. We have also bilateral trade and investment promotion and the protection agreement between Ethiopia and India. We have also signed double taxation avoidance agreement with India. We have more than 22 bilateral agreements between the government of India and Ethiopia. The most prominent ones are the trade agreement and agreement on investment promotion and protection. So I invite all of you for your kind attention, and I'm more than happy to answer your questions and to serve you. We are here, our office, special office, we are here to facilitate your business and investment in Ethiopia. And thank you very much. And I'm more than happy to receive your questions and comments. Thank you, Simra. Thank you, my dear colleague, Mr. Vikash. And thank you all of you for your kind attention once again.
Humble thanks to you, Your Excellency. Let me please be very honest. It's been one of the very elaborate and most fascinating presentations. Thank you so much. You know, we are all extremely keen to start business with Ethiopia. To start with, our first question is, what is the situation arising out of the current pandemic in Ethiopia? What have been the vaccination initiatives? Your Excellency, before you answer, may I please request you, if you could stop sharing the screen, we would love to have you on the full screen, please. Thank you, Your Excellency.
Thank you. I send you the presentation by email to Jat, and I'll share again.
Right.
And regarding, the pandemic, as I've already mentioned, the population of Ethiopia is at par with Maharashtra, 110 million. But we have only, the positive case is 270,000 up to today. And we have lost 4,000. That means it's not low, but the government is doing. Since the very beginning, we have never introduced lockdown. The government has taken, the only country in Africa never do. It had allowed the economic and the social activities to continue. At the same time, strictly implementing, the protocol of the COVID. Life has to continue. You have to save life. At the same time, livelihood has to continue. So we approached this, we followed this approach, saving both lives and the livelihoods. So the business and the social and economic activities are never locked down. It had been continued. Second, the government has come up with a number of incentives, as a number of countries had provided for those sectors which are affected by COVID, including financial and non-financial, package. So the government is trying a lot, again, to contain the spread of the disease. When it comes to vaccination, we are, I think, the only country in Africa which has got 2 million COVID sheets. Under, the WHO, the VAX program from Pune, from Serum Institute, 2 million. And the first vaccination we received was from India, and it's 2 million, and it is going on, the vaccination program. Since we are not producing, we are still depending on India and the other countries as well. So the vaccination is going on. The awareness, the most important is awareness. or religious, traditional, social, and all other organizations came to know to create awareness for the people. So the vaccination program is going on. We are hoping again, India is coming up. The coming up of India is very important for us. It is a source of dosage for us, and we are still using that 2 million, Covishield.
Thank you, Your Excellency. How does one promote Ethiopian coffee experience in India?
That's very important question. Those Indians who went to Ethiopia, the taste of Ethiopian coffee, the aroma, the taste is totally different. Those who had been to Ethiopia, they were asking us always, where is Ethiopian coffee? Where can we find Ethiopian coffee? There would be, I know a study had been done by one MBA student, how to find out, a market for the Ethiopian coffee. Yeah, done it, and there is overwhelming response. India is also one of the major coffee producers and exporters. Huh? You see that? The problem. Otherwise, we are more than ready. I know coffee is coming in a very limited way, the business taking the license and so on. It is very tough since India is a major exporter. Otherwise, we are more than happy. I know a number of people, a number of companies, even there are, MBA, management, departments from various universities who conducted a study, especially to bring Ethiopian coffee to Indian market. We are always here to support. But for those who are interested, our office is always open from 9 to 6, and we can, give them Ethiopian coffee.
Sure. Thank you so much. That's really tempting, especially to have the beautiful and the taste of the coffee there. How does one promote Ethiopian coffee? Thank you for that answer. Which is the central agency importing pharmaceuticals in Ethiopia?
We have a government-owned pharmaceutical, Ethiopian Pharmaceutical Supplies Enterprise. It is a government-owned, solely procuring medicines, and it is only one which was distributing to the government hospitals and others in Ethiopia. So we have a very centralized procurement center, and we have one agency.
Sure. Thank you, Your Excellency. How does one get in touch with the Agricultural Ministry and the Department of Ethiopia with the Agricultural Ministry?
We are here. Constantly. We are a bridge. We are a bridge, bridging, Indian companies, Indian government office with Ethiopian companies and with Ethiopian government offices. We are here facilitators, nothing else. So mostly welcome. We are here. It is one of my major duty, our consular duty, to connect with individuals, with companies, with government office. Mostly welcome.
Wow, Your Excellency, this is unbelievable. As I said, it's the start of June. So, be very intact with what you're looking for. And please be in touch with Ms. Priya Pansare, and she'll help you connect with Your Excellency. Your Excellency, this company is in printing educational books for African countries. How can they get help to connect with the educational publishers in Ethiopia?
Educational, there are Indians, I know. There are companies who are also interested in in setting up, printing, companies in Ethiopia, not only for Ethiopia, but for Africa. Ethiopia, we have more than 3 million students nowadays in schools. So there is huge demand. So it's mostly welcome. let you come and we can connect you. No, it's going to be our major activity. And we are here to support and assist the company.
Sure. Your Excellency, how do we export food flavors and food colors to Ethiopia?
Food colors, coloring is one of, the Indian export to Ethiopia. So you can export. There are companies in Ethiopia who are importing. So it is a business, one-to-one, business, dealing with importing company in Ethiopia and with exporters. Since you have already established a good contact with the Ethiopian Chamber of Commerce, they can send a request to you. You can send to the chamber, and the chamber will give you also those who are interested in importing. Then you can link. Your chamber IBG has to do this. Let they send, you can send to the chambers, to chamber and to us. The Ethiopian chamber will send you among its membership, share the request. Those who are interested, they will send to you. Then you can connect. The Chamber of Commerce and the consulate, the job is almost the same when it comes to commerce. Linking Indians with Ethiopians, Ethiopians with Indians. So the chamber, and we can do that.
Your Excellency, we've been really, truly encouraging and inspiring, and we truly aspire to have trade and business with Ethiopia. Well, we are truly, truly honored and thankful. And, to His Excellency, Mr. Demeke Atnafu Ambulo, sir, the Consulate General of the Federal Democratic Republic of Ethiopia. And we have absolutely no words to express our gratitude, for this very beautiful, amazing start of the month of June. So we're truly thankful to you, dear sir. And for the closing remarks, may we please request Mr. Vikash Mitra Sen to please have a word with everyone.
Thank you, Simran. Mr. Demeke, you are aware that I know almost all consul generals over the last 10-15 years in Bombay who have come and gone. We hope that you don't go away soon. In my opinion, I have yet to meet a consul of your stature and your interest in pushing Ethiopia business. Extremely, really amazed at all this. What I do want to do is come over to your office with any excuse someday to have that coffee that you promised. So thank you very much. I'm sure people enjoyed this, and we will circulate it to a large number of our members and outsiders. Thanks a lot, Simran.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much, Your Excellency, once again. And in a very informal way, we would say ciao, but no ciao, because we truly want to be associated. And Vikas, sir, you didn't speak about the delegation, especially for coffee. We can always visit Ethiopia.
Yes,
so you missed out on this.
We will go. We will go. Next year, we will go. Once we start taking delegations, I think it will be the first place on our choice.
Thank you very much. It's really a great honor and a privilege for me, and again for Vikash and your team, including Singha, organizing this second edition of virtual presentation on Ethiopia, and I'm truly honored and privileged to be associated with the chamber. Thank you. I'm always attending and following up what your chamber is doing during this lockdown, organizing virtual meeting with different consulates, and at the same time with well-known Indian business who can share their experience. This is what expected from the chambers, and I hope when this COVID and the pandemic is over, maybe the first delegation you are to lead was to Ethiopia, and I hope I'll join to you.
Yes.
And join your team, your business. We can arrange the most successful business meeting. Before going everybody to Ethiopia, we can arrange in advance one individual business group going to Ethiopia, at least to arrange to meet two or three business people in Ethiopia. We can do in such a way which can inspire others to do so. So I hope with going out of COVID, the pandemic, our next huge project will be how to organize very successful, very limited, very successful business delegation to Ethiopia. And hope all of you, please bypass here, drop to Ethiopian consulates, have Ethiopian coffee test, and you will enjoy it. And namaste. Thank you very much.
Namaste. Thank you very much, Your Excellency. Humble thanks to you. Thank you very much, Mr. Vikash Mitasen and Ms. Priya Pansare. We've spoken enough about coffee. I'm going to request you all to please enjoy your coffee, the local one right now, and feel the fragrance of love all around. Happy June month to all of you, and thank you very much. God bless.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.